The AI trade has been driving the markets for the better part of the last 2 years. At this point, there are lots of questions swirling, though. The first part of that would be whether the CapEx spending is too much and whether the revenues will ever show up for the hyperscalers. The second part is, will AI actually disrupt or destroy lots of businesses and jobs that are out there? Joining us right now is someone who has lived through technology revolutions in the past. John Chambers is the former CEO of Cisco. He's now the chairman emeritus. He's also the CEO of JC2 Ventures and a longtime friend of the show as well. And John, welcome. It's great to see you this morning.
Becky, it's a pleasure to be with you. You've asked about 5 or 6 questions, and I look forward to tackle them in whichever order you would like.
Okay,
just for your audience.
Let's start this out, John, just by kind of recognizing where we are. There are some people who think we're in a bubble, that it could burst. There are others who think that this is a revolution that's here to stay. As somebody who has lived through this, as you did back in the year 2000 and around that time, what do you think of what we're seeing today? How much staying power does this have?
I think it has tremendous staying power. It will be the determining point of market and profitability and productivity for the next decade. It will be probably 5 times the speed of the internet with 3 times the ending results on it. I think we're not only not in a bubble, but we're actually going to see an acceleration. Will there be some spectacular train wrecks and affecting the ecosystem? Absolutely going to occur. People remember just August of last year, MIT said AI isn't really taking off in companies. And that at first startled me because I have every one of my 22 companies are AI and cybersecurity. But when I looked at it, that data was just wrong. You're seeing enterprise move with tremendous speed. The productivity numbers of 2.7% show that people are getting results already. And we're in inning 1 of productivity gains. And it's similar to the internet. You remember during the 90s, productivity averaged about 1.4% for the decade in front of it. And it hit almost 2% average during the 90s because of the internet. This productivity that you're now seeing, I think 2.7 was not an aberration. I think it will probably double from that. I think you'll see numbers we didn't think were imaginable at 5%. Most CEOs and most companies that I see are planning to drive productivity across workloads, across their company. But you will see a disruption between the winners and losers.
How fragile is the ecosystem? If there is one big company that gets taken down, whether that's in the Mag 7 or just outside the Mag 7, is that enough to bring down the ecosystem and cause a pal not only over some of those AI names, but maybe over the broader market?
Well, I know that you always want me to have a point of view, and while I may not be right, I do have a point of view on this. I think when you look at the ecosystem, if one of the major ecosystem players trip, they will take down part of their ecosystem with their as well. But the overriding trend is, Becky, just so strong here, the market will come right back from it. Will there be a negative reaction? Absolutely. But this is something that nobody can stop. You look at whoever leads in AI, be it the U.S., be it China, be it India, or U.S. and India working together, will have the strongest economies, the biggest job growth. Profitability is going to be there. Productivity is going to hit numbers we didn't think was imaginable. And you'll see that up in terms of the companies that really lead. But when those train wreck occurs, is the market going to get nervous? Yep. Is it going to be a roller coaster year in the market? Absolutely. It will test your courage at the bottom, and then it'll come whipping back and people get too optimistic. But I think the trend is inevitable. This is a market that is actually going to accelerate growth. The $700 billion does not bother me at all. And I think we're in the early stages of consumption. Only now are our enterprise employees starting to use this productivity tool, very early stage. Does everybody win? No. This is not one like the internet where rising tide raises all boats, Becky. There will be tremendous disruption, winners and losers on both sides, but they can change. Just think about Microsoft when they moved with OpenAI. They were way ahead of Google, and people had concern about Google's position. Fast forward 2 years later, their stock is up 64%, and they're challenging the other players. So nobody's not spending money here. You either break away or you get left behind.